Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So you have already got your marks, right? Have you received it?
I didn't check.
Okay, maybe perhaps I can show it. Let me see. I think I have already marked it and put it in the altar, but perhaps I didn't open it. Give me a second. Yeah, I have already. Yeah, already on it.
Yes, 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 yes. I
Yeah.
saw.
So if you want to check your marks, okay, you can go to author UTHM, and click the marks section. Okay. I want to congratulate, okay, everyone who has already received high marks. Okay. So and the rest of you are actually having, yeah, marks that is more than half. Okay, congrats, but less than half, you need to try harder. Okay, but don't worry, it's only 20%. So your final exam is 40%. So you have 40% more. Okay, 40% more for your individual and your group work. Okay, I haven't give you that uh, instruction yet. Okay, but I will give it by next week. Okay, because right now, okay, we have Dennis. Most of you know him. Okay, he's actually deferred his studies, and we also last week we received uh, Hassan. So it's like on and off, on and off. So it's hard for me to make things twice. So right now everyone is settled down. Okay, you have already set the um, test. So yeah, maybe after this we are going to go with the other 40%. Okay, so today we are going to learn about hold on, let me show you um, the plan. Okay, the lecture plan, the RPP. What should we learn today? Okay, so today we are going to learn about information and communication technology, ICT application in construction. So I'm going to cover AutoCAD, Revit, and also Microsoft Project. But this computer aided for facility management, Akibas, I have already invited Dr. SR, Dr. Noral Fisha Sulaiman. Okay, she's a very expert in FM, okay, in facilities management. She has already said yes. It is that today she is a bit busy, and we are going to listen to her talk when she's a bit free. Okay, right now I'm still waiting for that date. Okay, once I have it, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay. So FM is not one of my expertise. Okay, so I need to invite invited speaker lah. So that is the Nora Fisha Sulaiman. She's an expert in FM, and she she's the receiver of recently she's recently received the award for research excellence in UTHM. Okay, she received ringgit Malaysia 3,000 for that. So she's a very well known, okay, in facility management. So we are very lucky to have her saying yes, you know, to for her to give talk to us. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I just before that I want to ask you guys, do you guys know how to use AutoCAD?
Yes, but for me, my laptop is not like it's too big to support it. But yes, I know how to use it.
Okay, so you learn it from your previous university, is it, for your bachelor degree? What about the rest? Do you know how to use AutoCAD? Abbas?
Yes, I know.
You know. Ahmad Ali Hire, okay. What about Lukman?
Yes, doctor, to
Okay.
a little level.
Okay. Abbas and Saif?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Abbas?
I think
The question is, do you know how to use AutoCAD? Yes, okay then. Usually, civil engineering students know how to use AutoCAD, and it's actually it's easy to maneuver. It's just that recently, not recently, 6 months ago, I received remarks from the industry saying that our graduates don't know how to use AutoCAD. So it is actually AutoCAD is a must-have skill. Okay, must know when once you graduate in a construction program, you must know how to use AutoCAD. Okay, and it's quite a shame if any you know, any one of you actually cannot use AutoCAD. That's why I asked, if you don't know how to use AutoCAD, let me know. Okay, maybe perhaps I can go straight forward with that. How about Revit? Have you been exposed to Revit?
No from me.
Okay. Microsoft. Sorry.
yes.
Sorry. Yes.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What about the others? Have you been exposed to Revit?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Do you know how to use Revit? This is another question, which I think is a must ask. Okay, I must ask, because even though that the industry right now, construction industry is still using AutoCAD, especially if you are if you are servicing for the main contractors. Okay, because it is globally used. So anyone in construction use AutoCAD for their drawings. But recently, Revit is taking the place. Okay, I have also received comments. Okay, because our undergraduates, okay, the BPC, you are MPC. Okay, the BPC students are actually being trained with Revit, but there are undertrained with AutoCAD. So we receive remarks saying that, okay, we need these students to know AutoCAD and Revit. So that's why our MPC, even though that the undergraduate is like that, but MPC should know both. Okay, at least you're being exposed. Alright, so this is today we are going to cover those things. Okay, but before that, let me share with you, okay, some notes. Okay, and after this, maybe perhaps we can see some of the collection of articles that I have already been given to you in the WhatsApp, and maybe perhaps this I'm going to give you some time for you to read it, and then you are going to present to me. Okay, so you have like six. You're supposed to have like 7 students today, but how many are you now? 7, 6, 6 students. Who else is not here? I know. Uh, I know Dennis is not here. But let me check. Who else is not here? Hassan. Hassan is not here, right? Okay, so should be seven students, but Hassan isn't here. But I don't know what's his problem. So I have divided that articles to 2 articles for a person. So let's see whether he's going to join us after this. But yeah, let's go to this ICT lecture first. Okay, so I guess you have already heard about this before. Okay, there are so many challenges facing the construction industry, and I have also mentioned about Industrial Revolution 4.0 and this CSP 4.0 of Malaysia. If you can see, and if you realize that the strategic plan for construction industry, especially in Malaysia, we are heading towards information technology support technologies. Okay, so it means to say that we are trying to digitalize everything. Okay, that relates to the construction industry in order for us to have a very an efficient output, which hinder the 3D setting of the construction industry. Okay, so other than that, okay, um, um, I have also mentioned there are challenges faced by Malaysia which have been stated in the CSP 4.0, and have already also asked you in your test, okay, what are the challenges faced by Malaysian industry if they want to apply, or they want to um, put the CSP 4.0 strategy in place. So there are actually 4 challenges that relates to people. Okay, the lack of um, um, people, social, economic, and also technology. Okay, so there are 4 actually challenges that is going to be faced by the construction industry if Malaysia, who has the CSP 4.0 strategic plan that relates to all the digitalization of the construction industry, strategies to be put forward by 2025. So there are 4 challenges. Okay, apart from that, okay, we have also challenges that relates to changing economic climate, okay, which that relates to the interest rate fluctuations, okay, job losses, residential slowdown. Perhaps the pandemic of COVID-19 plays a role in that. Okay, which makes the interest rate fluctuated. Like what I have already been exposing you in the first class. Okay, we can see the gross domestic product in Malaysia is actually negative 10.4. So 2 or 3 years before, it was not like that. Okay, so it's just a matter of 2 or 3 years. The GDP that relates to the effectiveness of the construction industry towards the economic of Malaysia fluctuated. We don't know how the construction industry in Malaysia is going to perform in 2 or 3 years ahead. Looking at the new virus Omicron, So we don't know if we are looking at the current situation. Even the United Kingdom, even the Switzerland now is actually closing their border, isn't it, because of the new virus. So UK is following suit. Okay, when I think whenever that UK something happened in UK, maybe perhaps 6 months after that, Malaysia will follow suit too. So I don't know. I'm not someone who's can predict what happens in the future, but the trend is there. Okay, so this changing economic climate, okay, will affect all the strategic plannings that has been developed to enhance the construction industry. So the challenges that are going to be faced is the economic climate that is changing time by time. Okay, another one is the changing procurement landscape. Okay, perhaps okay the government wants to make sure that the cash flow in one of the in its country in a good terms. Okay, so they are offering new government related construction projects just to help the cash flow of the industry in Malaysia. So the procurement, okay, of these projects by government, okay, will change. Okay, it will not be open tender anymore, but more design and build, okay, and new private partnership perhaps. Okay, so there are many types of procurement. Um, Many types of procurement that is going to be applied in order to support the government strategy. Okay, so this will become a challenge. Okay, because more government project means more monitoring that need to be done. Okay, and this will relate to the risk allocation. Okay, because sometimes when we are having I don't know whether you are aware or not, but especially those who are actually those are actually in outside of the country right now. In Malaysia we are uh, in the in especially in Selangor right now. Currently, many of Malaysians who live in Selangor is actually having problems with flood. Okay, because of the uh, non-stop rain. Okay, non-stop raining since 2 days ago, and I don't know. Have you heard about that? Are you aware of that? You guys, do you aware that Malaysia, Selangor, is having um, disaster?
Yes,
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
nearby.
Yes. Yeah. So it is one of the risks, okay, that nobody can actually predict, okay, because of course when it's flooding, okay, it will we have lots of things ruined, especially the buildings, especially the houses of residents, okay, especially the facilities, okay, like the bridges. So it means to say that after this, okay, after this, there are many construction projects are going to be offered, and there are going to be many help from the government and the private sector in order to revive the locations that has been affected by the flood. Okay, but what I want to say here is the challenges of that will be facing the construction industry is the risk allocation. Okay, we don't know, we cannot predict, okay, that a flood is going to be as bad as what we are currently facing right now. Okay, so by having that undetermined, unpredicted, and something that cannot be allocated sooner, okay, especially the risk, so it does not support innovation. So because we don't know how, innovation usually comes from a problem, okay, because we, even though that Malaysia have already faced, okay, big flood in 2014. Okay, in Johor itself, okay, we faced the major flood event in 2006. Okay, but in 2014 is the worst, but Johor was not as bad as that. But in Johor, it's 2006, where it affected many areas in Johor. So because of that, okay, because we cannot predict what will happen, how is the frequency, what is the frequency, and how big is it going to be. So usually we cannot innovate something that something that fit the real situation. Okay, so because these things, for example, like what happened in Selangor, nobody expect it to be as bad as that. Okay, nobody expect it. And actually we all, even though I'm in Johor, is still shocked about what happened in Selangor, because nobody expect Selangor and Kuala Lumpur will be in some situation like that. Okay, but but it happened. So everyone is in shock. I think Thailand is much better than us, okay, in terms of disaster management. I think Thailand they use some traditional method. They in order to combat flood, they use sandbag. They put sandbag. They put shit piles along the river that is actually have a trend to be flooded. So when they see the trend is there, the rain is achieving the maximum standard of it should be, then they will automatically impose all their actions. For example, like close their shit piles border and put the sandbags in order. But here in Johor, like what I can share with you is they have that kind of actions, like for example, like starting from October, November, there is they when the monsoon season's coming, they will start to dredge all the parit, all the drains, because in Johor there are lots of parit, if you must know. Okay, so we have the soil here is peat soil, so it tend to contain water. So the tendency to get flooded will be much higher here in Johor and also in Sarawak, because of the type of the soil that we have in Johor to compare to any other areas or any other location. So what I can see here, especially in Batu Pahat now, where UTSM is situated, they will dredge all the drains out. Okay, starting from October is the least. Okay, so but that's all, because the trend is not there. It's not there to see, okay, that we are going to have a very big flood event like what we have in 2014. So the innovation, perhaps to put sandbag, or perhaps to put sheet pile along any rivers that is that is have the tendency to be flooded. So there is no such thing, because we haven't have that event yet. But right now, by having this major flood event in Selangor, it shows that if it never happened, it doesn't say that it never happened. If it never happened before, it doesn't mean that it won't happen now, because of these climate changes. Okay, so that risk allocation is not there. So that is the challenges facing the construction industry. Okay, and then the island of information. This is one of the challenges facing our industry right now. Some company is using AutoCAD, some company is using Revit, okay, and some company using um, Primavera, some company is using Microsoft Project. There are lots of softwares that they use for each of the um, specific body of knowledge. But sometimes what they are actually handling is this sort of data that should be supporting one one common process for a construction project. Perhaps we are talking about procurement in a government body. Okay, I'm talking from my experience working with the municipal Ampang Jaya Municipal. Okay, so MPAJ. So even though that they are dealing with many projects, but the process is still the same. It means to say that the main contractor need to, okay, before that, MPAJ will uh, put out, okay, put out news, okay, put out tender, okay, tender calling in its website or in its in newspaper, okay, saying that okay, they are calling for proposal to build perhaps a dewan. Okay, a dewan is what is dewan in English? Sorry, a place together for people lah. Okay, perhaps for flood management center. Okay, so they are calling for that proposal. So they will say it in their website or in a local newspaper. Okay, so that is one process of the government body to call for proposal. So all it is in open tender. Okay, so all the interested companies will hand over the proposal, okay, during the time at the time and date which have been stated by the government body, for example like the MPAJ. Okay, and then the government body will analyze it, okay, in terms of cost, in terms of risk, in terms of experience, okay, and then it will shortlist, okay, the shortlisted contractors will be interviewed, okay, give a presentation, and then will be asked with question and answer session about all the things that they have already proposed in their report, and the thing the maybe perhaps the most interesting project, okay, will be selected. So the procurement system there is all the same. It is common, okay, but it will relates to different projects. Okay, perhaps they want to build a flood management center, or perhaps they want to build a bus stop, or perhaps they want to build a road, or perhaps they want to build a shopping mall, but the procurement system is the same. So they need to have some sort of integrated system which is digitalized to make it more efficient. Okay, maybe perhaps in terms of sending the construction drawings. Okay, so maybe 20 years ago when I worked with the MPAJ as a trainer, as an intern, they all still use physical and printed drawings. Okay, I believe they're still doing it so. Okay, but right now the JKR isn't doing it again, and doesn't doing it as the same like 20 years ago. JKR started the submission of all the drawings in soft copy. Okay, but 20 years ago, when I worked as an intern in Majlis Perbandaran Ampang Jaya, the municipal of Ampang Jaya, they still send all their drawings. They still send their contract documents in a physical mode. So they need to print it, okay, um, and they need to present it using all these A note, perhaps, okay, the size of the drawing. So they need to present. They only use the computer only to present their slideshows, okay, the PowerPoint, but not showing the drawings. And that is only on in terms of pre-construction. Okay, we're not talking about construction. Even in construction phase, okay, they're still using. When I work with Malaysian Maritime and Dredging Corporation, okay, when I visited the site office, okay, they're still carrying A3 size construction drawings. Okay, so it is now not like I mentioned last 2 weeks. In the United States, it is not that way anymore. Okay, they're using iPads. So it is one point to integrate pre-construction and construction, and also post-construction. So the challenges right now in Malaysia is perhaps the island of information, okay, lack of interoperability, okay, discrete separate ICT systems. So that is what I meant. Okay, new technology take up very low. Okay, right now I don't know where. Have you heard about Akibas before? Akibas.
No.
Okay, we just had Akibas is okay. This is a new technology, and UTHM is very lucky to have Dr. Noralfi Shah, okay, who bring in Ringgit Malaysia 4 million worth of software, okay, Akibas, in for the use of its student. Okay, however, it just like in June this year, so we just got it, and last Thursday was our first training of trainers. So and that training didn't include the how to use the guys. Oh yes. Yes, it's still in. I'm sorry. I'm still in the first slide.
Okay.
Okay. So new technology, but take up very low. So Akibas in United States is not a new technology. Okay, but we in Malaysia, okay, we receive it quite slow. And like I mentioned, we just been trained to use this Akibas, but Akibas is very powerful. Okay, because I think Akibas, even though it's some people have a negative perceptions, okay, towards Akibas, but I think it's very powerful software because it can integrate every operation in a construction project. So it will solve the problem of island of information. Okay, so in Akibas you can do the Gantt chart, you can make S-curve, you can make space management, you can rent and monitor, and you can have your AutoCAD and Revit plug into it. Okay, and you can do real estate management, you can do space management, even move management. Okay, it means to say that if you have a project manager, Akibas is the project manager. Even you can do all the communication log when perhaps if we're talking about project management, okay, perhaps one of your suppliers, okay, you are ordering, okay, an industrialized building system for your wall, okay, and that company perhaps promised to you that they will give you 2 weeks, 2 months to produce your order and send it to your site, but they are late. So perhaps, okay, in manual setting, okay, in the traditional setting, maybe you just call them up, okay, and ask where is my order, okay, but you cannot record it, okay, you cannot record it. You don't have the recording saying that, okay, I have give you one chance, okay, if you cannot deliver it, okay, you will be imposed a penalty. Okay, you will, if you are doing it in manual setting, you won't have the ability to record it, okay, but if you are using Akibas, okay, it will be automatically, okay, do one, record your communication with your supplier, okay, and then second, the Akibas will automatically, okay, reset your project management the output. So your Gantt chart will be automatically updated. Okay, and perhaps the supplier have a problem in sending your order with the specifics, with the specification that you order, and they request for variation order, okay, and if in manual setting, you need to go to the AutoCAD, okay, or the Revit, okay, and then you change it, okay, perhaps the wall is supposed to be like 20 times 25, okay, but the manufacturer cannot do it because some problems, okay, and they need to deliver it 30 by 35, okay, so you need to do it one by one, and it takes a lot of time, because one, you need to change in the master drawing in AutoCAD or in Revit, and then you need to go to the Microsoft project, okay, because of the delay in this, you need to change the Gantt chart, okay, and then it will affect the cost also, okay, and then you need to go to the CosX software. But everything, if you're using Akibas, you can just use one software, Akibas. You can do the change, okay, as AutoCAD has a is a plug-in in Akibas, then you can change AutoCAD, and then automatically updated in the Akibas, and then you can see how is it going to change the Microsoft project, which is built in Akibas, and then you can see how is it going to change the cost and the overall system of the construction. So it is very powerful. Akibas is very powerful, okay, but in Malaysia, usually all these powerful software, they take a long time, okay, because they are expensive, okay, yeah, the acculturation, okay, making sure that the trainers like us, the lecturers and the students know how to use the system, taking a bit time, because the expert is not in here in Malaysia, but the expert is somewhere else, okay, so that's why the challenges are take up low, the take up time is low, okay. The climate change is something I have already exposed you to, okay. R&D, okay, research and development. I think this happened to many developing countries, okay. Like Malaysia, we can see that our innovators are actually users of systems, systems like Akibas. Malaysia, developing countries, we are users. We are not inventors. I don't know about any of your countries, where you're from, but I can see the trend here in Malaysia. We are users. We for example, like the Akibas, we don't invent Akibas, we use Akibas. This perhaps comes from the fact that the research and development spend, okay, maybe perhaps inadequate. It's not that there are lots of things, because we are actually Malaysia, we are a developing country, so we have we have other things to allocate to perhaps in disaster management, like flood event, big flood event that happens 2 or 3 years frequency. So the spend is much well worth it to be spent on something else. So that is the challenges. So like you see, construction is a very fragmented industry. Okay, we can see it's a very wide industry. So perhaps you are coming from the architect background. Okay, you're a consultant, a civil engineering consultant who does dredging, river dredging to to or you are structural and civil and structural engineer, or mechanical and electrical, okay, or any other consultant, okay, for each trades that is relating to construction, okay, and or perhaps you are the contractor, and perhaps you are the one who's actually doing the work which the consultant have designed, or you are coming from the background with the client who give money in order for the construction to be performed. And and you are the one who stays at construction site, who does all these things, okay. So it is a very fragmented industry. So in traditional platform, okay, we use we still use papers. To have our correspondence, okay. Perhaps maybe the supplier is late, we still give them a paper instead of email, okay. We still have the minutes of meeting printed, and if you are having a physical meeting, we need to print that and then put it on the table and have a meeting. And even the CAD drawings, okay, are still in physical mode, okay, let alone all the programs, costs, plans, okay, cash flow, tender documents, okay. So in manual setting, okay, usually all these things are in physical form. But to think about it, in order to create that physical form, we do use computers, okay. We do use computers. For example, like CAD drawings, we know how to use AutoCAD, but we still print it. So we are still in the phase of not as friendly to the environment yet, because we believe in something that we can hold, okay, we can see, we can touch, but CAD drawings is something like from in the iPad, okay. It's very it's hard to trust. The trust is not there because we cannot touch it, even though the iPad is there. But sometimes companies doesn't want to invest in iPads, so it's very hard to to implement, even though the things are the things that involve for construction projects that comes from a computer, and there's one software or one hardware like iPad, we can integrate it. But because of the lack of the spending that comes from the company who wants to spend it, for example, like the main contractor, they don't want to spend monies on iPads or in a software like Archibus, so it's hard. So yeah, the use of computers is hardly impressive. So having only iPads but not the software, for example, like the Archibus, the AutoCAD, the Revit, It's like having a cup but without coffee in it. You just have the cup. Okay, I think I have read somewhere. Okay, there is some companies. Okay, they have invested in developing the hardware. Okay, the phone. Okay, the casing of the phone. Okay, that creates from rare earth material. Okay, but somehow they have they couldn't be successful, because the thing is, the investment shouldn't be only on the hardware itself. Like if you're only concentrating on developing the iPads, but you're not investing in having the software, for example like Akibas, Revit or AutoCAD, it wouldn't matter, because hardware without the accompanying software, it's like a coffee without a cup of coffee, a cup without coffee in it. So you're just holding the cup and then you carry it around, which is useless. Are you still with me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
so like the Silicon Valley in the United States, if you can see, there are actually focusing on developing softwares like Akibas, okay, like Revit, like Autodesk did for their Revit, AutoCAD, okay, AutoCAD Fusion, and Trimble with their SketchUp. Okay, so that is actually all the innovations going forward with. Okay, there are having all the investments, okay, not only in hardware like iPads that can be carried around in the site, but there are also investing in softwares. Okay, so this is the future direction. What I'm showing you now is the future directions for effective use of IT in our industry. Okay, information technology, that the things that information technology is something like this. Information is the data that we have in our construction. Perhaps the drawing, the data from construction drawings, the specifications, the contract phase. Okay, all the all the data that is required. Okay, and that can be digitalized and that can be communicated through some form of means. Okay, it's called information. Okay, the information that is required to do a project. Okay, the technology means, the technology that can make it easy for us to use this information. Okay, for example like the hardware, the software. Okay, so what is the promise of having information technology in construction? So first it save time. Okay, compare it to 20 years ago, where the when we still use our own hand. Okay, our hand to draw the construction drawing. You remember T-square and everything. Compare it with using AutoCAD. Okay, so it means to say that it will definitely save time in order for us to draw a construction or an engineering drawing. Okay, because having it to draw manually, we tend to make mistakes. And then if something changed, like all we know that like we know in the construction industry, things will change. Okay, design will change, so it will take time. Okay, to get some draft person to produce another drawing. But imagine having it in a Revit. Okay, which is a building information modeling tool. Okay, so when you change the master plan, okay, everything changes too in a split second. Okay, so if you change the door at this place, okay, it will reflect to the door is in the architectural plan. Okay, it will reflect to the M&E plan. It will also reflect to the plumbing and fire protection plan. So it will be integrated. Everything will be integrated. Okay, so it will save you time. And uh, uh, it will also automate tasks and reduce payroll. Okay, this this is what I meant by here is by having a work breakdown structure that is, integrated, okay, between one segment of the system to another. Okay, you can see that, okay, some segment, some part of the work is actually redundant. ah so this thing, okay, you can automate it. ah Perhaps in communication log, in Akibas, okay. In manual setting, okay, perhaps you want to highlight to the supplier that, okay, you have 2 more weeks before the time of your next uh, send over of your items to our site. So if you do it, in construction project, it will not only have one supplier but many suppliers. Okay, that is according to its own trades. So you need, if you are doing it manually, so some person like the clerk of work, okay, they need to repetitively do this, um, send these letters to the suppliers, okay, or send emails to the suppliers, okay, having the sending all the interactions saying that, okay, you're late, you're going to late, you're going to be late in me. So everything can be set, okay, using Akibas. It means to say that the task to send emails, to send reminders to suppliers can be set early in the communication log, okay. And it means to say that the repetitive, the redundant tasks have been automated. So the clerk of work can concentrate on in his or her work, okay, checking all the things. Okay, it doesn't have to do all the redundant works. Okay, and by having that said, okay, maybe perhaps, okay, because of the redundancy of telling the suppliers, okay, somebody need to draft the letter, okay, so the clerk of work perhaps needs a secretary or a clerk, administration worker, okay, but to just to draft or just to send the letters to the suppliers. But having a digitalized and automated task in one good software like Akibas, it will reduce the payroll because we don't have to have this administration clerk just to send out the letters. Okay, you get me?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
yes. So it means to say that by having all digitalized and no papers are actually printed, we will use less papers. Okay. So what is the reality of information technology nowadays? Because of, for like right now, having Akibas, like me, I need to do I need to learn this. Okay, it means to say that I will have a new thing to do, and put this scenario inside at site. Okay, this project manager have to learn to use this new software. Okay, so we are going to get busier just to understand the software. So that's why people, older people, who is actually a project manager, who's a very seasoned, very, they have many years in the industry. Okay, they have been used to work with all these physical documents. Okay, they're reluctant to use this new softwares, okay, because it makes them busy, more busier than ever before, because they need to learn new things, okay. And that's why sometimes we need to employ more people like you, who are actually been exposed and who are actually been trained in AutoCAD, in Rapid, okay, to do all these things for them, okay. That is the reality right now, okay. Instead of we are trying to save time, trying to automate tasks, but reality, we need to employ someone new, okay. And instead of reducing the payroll costs, we are increasing the payroll costs, and because of the reality that your boss, okay, your boss is actually who's a very seasoned project manager, who's very used to have a printed A3 drawings. At the end of the day, okay, you still need to have a printed drawings. So we use even more paper, and then we continue to use the same processes because the top is like that. It will change somehow or rather when you become the project manager, okay. And when you have been exposed to all these softwares, okay, you will use this, but perhaps in 20 years in time, the IT at that point of time will change, and you are becoming the seasoned project manager like what you are handling now. So it's you know, it's like a tire that goes round and round and round and round. So we need to keep abreast with all the advancement in the information technology. And sometimes being in the developing countries like Malaysia, it's very hard to follow, and that's why in Malaysia it's like we are behind in 10 years from the developed countries like UK, United States. But yeah, we sometimes do. We will follow, but will take time. Okay, how do we use information technology? I have mentioned this from the previously, but yeah, we receive information, okay, we input it into computer, we print it out and send it to someone else, okay. And then how we should use ICT, IT, we properly, okay, if we know, okay, that there is a software that is reusable throughout the project life cycle, okay, we should use that. Okay, that will make everything less time, okay. Will because the project life cycle means to say that the construction project life cycle comes from the it means to say that once you model, okay, once the client have the idea of making a house perhaps, okay, and up until the demolition of that house after 50 or 60 years, okay. So that is the project life cycle. So if you know one software that can be used for that house entire life cycle, then it will be good for you, okay. Because you at that point of time, you will know that, okay, your client can deliver the ideas, and then you can you as the project management consultant or the construction manager, okay, you will have the authority to give to an architect, okay. You at your office, okay, you can be in Australia, you can be in Yemen, or you can be in Malaysia that is taking up projects in Dubai, something like that. But because you have this single software that can do lots of things, okay, in a very long range of period of time, 50, 60 years, so that will be very good for you. So in reality, it wouldn't be like that, but it would be good if we have a software that can do something like that, okay, that can be used across the project life cycle, starting from the pre-construction, construction, post-construction, and up until demolition of that project. Okay, so everything need to achieve business benefits lah. Okay, so that is the future directions or for effective use of IT in our industry. Okay, so how should we work towards this? How should we achieve the ideal model of what I've mentioned before? Okay, if we have something that we can, be anywhere to manage the project, and we can have something that can be used throughout the project life cycle. How are we going to use that? How are you going to do that? So right now, okay, in United States, in the developed countries, they are actually looking at it. Okay, that's why all these Akibas, all these Rabbit from the Autodesk is actually working towards on. Okay, they are thinking of like, okay, the thing that that definitely will have in a project, to construct anything, okay, a building, a house, or any facility, is a construction drawing. So they start from that. So when you have the construction drawing in a supported BIM tool, okay, so you can do everything. You can collaborate everyone in all this fragmented industry. Okay, so this project model, okay, that is being used by that is being produced by BIM supported applications, for example like Revit. Okay, in Revit we have the architecture, Revit mechanical and electrical, okay, and we have Revit robot structural analysis. Okay, and yeah, they can first they can develop the architectural plan, and then they develop the civil, mechanical, and electrical. Okay, so whatever happens, whatever changes happen in the master plan from the architectural will also changes accordance to the precedence drawing, that is the architect. Okay, perhaps the client wants to change. Okay, she wants to have perhaps a penthouse on top of her building. Okay, so in the original plan she doesn't want that. Okay, but because of having a penthouse in that building will change the load. Okay, it will affect the size of the beams, the size of the column, and the size of the wall if it is so of course if you are changing some design, okay, in that architectural model, it will also involve all the things that is related. Okay, maybe perhaps the plumbing system doesn't support the new floor. Okay, perhaps the original plan they have only 3 floors. Okay, but having the penthouse, that is the 4th floor. Okay, so the plumbing system, the electrical wiring and everything will be haywired. Okay, and need to have some major changes. If we are talking about manual changes, it will take time because we need to have changes by the architect, by the designers, okay, all the trade consultants, okay, to produce just one new drawings. But having this project model that is integrated by the Autodesk softwares, which is the architecture, M&E, and structural analysis, it will simplify things and lessen the time. Okay, and having not only Revit because I'm right now I'm exposing you to three softwares, okay, which is the AutoCAD, Revit, and also Akibas. AutoCAD and Revit is being used to produce drawings, okay, and Akibas is the one who's going to integrate the whole process of construction using that construction drawing, okay. So Akibas is the one who's going to produce the Gantt chart, okay, the S curve and everything, okay. The Akibas is going to use the to have the management of the space. What is going to be input into the space, perhaps in the room, okay. Do you want to have um, built-in wardrobe, or built-in or maybe perhaps you want to have a aircon, okay, you want to have anything and then anything and everything. It means up until how much weight is it of an aircon or a wardrobe. So you can insert that everything into that Akibas, okay. That is for space management. And even after you have managing all the spaces, you can use Akibas for to have a to rent it, okay. Perhaps the client, okay, have four floors of a building, okay. They want she wants to rent it to someone else, okay. So this person, okay, this client can analyze how much she can rent for, and based on what are the things that she put into that space of hers, only using Akibas, okay. So that is one good thing about Akibas lah. So yeah, so that is three projects, three ICT softwares, okay, that I expose you to, okay. Revit, AutoCAD, and also Akibas. This Revit and AutoCAD is a plug-in tool to Akibas. So that means to say that everything, okay, everything about your project, your construction project will be digitalized, okay. Start from pre-construction up until demolition, okay, starting from using the drawing, the construction drawings, okay, up until renting it, okay. You can use specific softwares for that, okay. ICT, okay, that brings to the point that ICT should be utilized throughout the construction process. So whatever that I've just said is actually being simplified using this picture, okay. Inception, feasibility, design aspect, okay, construction, operations, maintenance, okay. So yeah. Okay, so right now 5. This is one example for Construction Information Technology Alliance, okay, in Ireland, okay. This is back in 2017, okay. So the CITA, as a Construction Information Technology Alliance, it suggested that the construction economist, okay, even the construction economist, to become proficient in CAD systems. Economists, including all the, okay. So the construction economists, including the quantity surveyor, okay, the estimator, and the client. Those who are actually right now in manual setting, who said that, okay, we don't have to learn AutoCAD or Revit because we don't have to. There's no reason to learn all that things. But according to this island CITA, okay, Construction Information Technology Alliance, everyone, okay, need to learn how to draw, how to use, how to produce drawings, because the basic part of a construction project is actually the drawing itself. So even if you want to use the Akibas, who is actually the project manager of construction, project manager software in the construction project, okay, they have the plug-in tools for the Revit and Akibas, Revit and the AutoCAD. So it means to say that everyone who's using Akibas needs to know how to use these computer-aided drawings systems or softwares. Okay, so yeah, like what you can see here, this is the phases, design, okay, drawing, measure, print, and bill of quantities. Okay, this is the inilah the quantity surveyor, or the in this SITA construction economies lah. So when they are designing, okay, they will use computer aided design. Okay, computer aided sorry computer aided drawings. Okay, usually conventional drawings, okay, when a draft person, okay, whether it's CAD executive or BIM executive, they will produce not BIM executive, like CAD executive, okay, they will produce their drawings. If they are in designer teams, okay, they will produce and they will give it to their in-house or other companies who have the quantity surveyor QS. They will scale it up and then they will count it, okay, and they will digitize it, okay, and they will come up with a pricing in a spreadsheets, okay, and then they put it in a contract document, okay, and the main contractor will have everything in a contract document. But if you're using computer aided CAD, okay, whether it's 2D, 3D, or BIM, okay, it will involve e-measuring, and the pricing, okay, will be integrated. So whatever it is, it will not cost you lots of time because it is integrated. Okay, but of course training is needed lah. So like you can see here, so they invest euro 350, the 350,000 euro to provide training and to develop postgrad diploma in construction informatics, and also to introduce CAD information systems in their specific location lah. So UTHM is actually going towards that, okay, because Akibas USA have already given us worth of ringgit Malaysia 4 million of Akibas software with 100 licenses. So they are right now giving us training. So we are supposed to teach students by next year, okay, and by that time we are going to have postgrad students, okay, that is able to use software Akibas and also produce innovative solutions for ICT in construction. So that is the way forward, okay. We are looking forward to that, and I'm actually searching for students who can, who are willing to learn all these things in IT, and especially in using Akibas. But right now it's because we're in a developing country, so I don't think that UTHM is going to have all the means to support financially all these students, but selected students, yeah. Okay, so that is I've mentioned this. Okay, so right now I want you guys to open up the where is it? I won't touch on Revit. I'm planning to play a video for Revit, but you say that you have been exposed to it. So right now, I just want to play one short video, 4 minutes, okay, about Akibas. Can you see my video now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, just go.
Hi, we're IMS Consulting, and we make complicated facilities and real estate easy. With the help of Archibus IWMS, the #1 developer worldwide of real estate, infrastructure, and facilities management software. Facilities and physical infrastructure management is a critical business function, comprising 25 to 50% of a company's fixed assets and operating costs. Facilities and infrastructure are significant resources that must be efficiently managed in order for a business to succeed in a globally competitive market. With the Archibus solution, organizations of all sizes, spanning sectors such as finance, education, healthcare, government, and manufacturing, reduce their infrastructure and facilities-related costs by using Archibus to make informed decisions that optimize return on investment and lower asset lifecycle costs. Efficient management of the facility and infrastructure provides a comfortable work environment that ultimately increases employee satisfaction and productivity. The Archibus solution addresses a full range of facilities and infrastructure issues. The following are just a few examples of how an organization's employees, as well as outside personnel, interact with the Archibus facility and infrastructure management system. Archibus is organized into 4 distinct domains, each with a set of applications focused on a particular facet of the built environment. The facilities domain includes the applications space management, overlay integration for AutoCAD and Revit, move management, reservations, and hoteling. The domain includes a listing of the space that a company occupies, how each department is using the occupiable areas, and how personnel are assigned to rooms within the inventory. Once you develop an inventory, you can internally build departments for their space usage and build from your current inventory to plan your future space needs. The properties domain includes the applications, managed leases, real estate portfolio management, capital project management, and capital budgeting. Create an electronic inventory of your properties and your leases, complete with detailed data on occupancy, leased out and available areas, taxes, compliance with regulations, costs, and much more. The operations domain includes the applications, building operations, preventative maintenance, emergency preparedness, environmental health and safety, as well as sustainability. The Archibus building operations domain helps you manage your reactive maintenance and preventative maintenance by providing tools for scheduling employees and outside contractors, budgeting costs, routing work throughout the system, updating the system with details about completed jobs, and assessing performance and response. The technology domain includes the applications, asset management, telecom and cable, service desk, and condition assessment. Asset management include consoles to manage assets throughout the lifecycle. These consoles provide data to enable you to optimize the use and disposal of assets. The information is targeted to various stakeholders working with assets, such as IT, finance, facilities, and department heads. The Archibus business applications provide directed, best practice methods for handling the complete range of facilities and infrastructure functions. These applications run within a unique environment that fuses database, CAD, spreadsheet, web, document management, and workflow features into a cohesive whole. The entire application suite is wholly integrated, driven from a data dictionary, and can be completely configured to reflect your own business processes. These are just a few of the solutions that IMS Consulting offers you through the implementation of Archibus.
Okay, so that is Archibus. So like what you can see, okay, and there are so many uh, um, applications, okay, and the use or the functions of Akibas, including project management, okay, and I forget to tell you about maintenance, also. So even if you want to trace who's using one specific space, perhaps in one room, okay, you can detect whether he or she is in her room or not. Perhaps you want to see me, okay, and if you are the if you have the access to the Akibas in UTHM, perhaps okay, you know that I'm there in my office or not. You can even track to that point. If you're talking about in construction project at construction site, so you can track a worker, okay, a worker, whether this worker is actually at his allocated place and at the allocated time or not. So you can monitor them by having just the Akiba software, okay, because they have the RFID tag, and they can plug it to the system, okay, so that they can monitor all the people, okay. So that is Akibas, okay. Okay, so let's see. One thing that I want you guys to make a very short slide presentation is the one that I've just given you. Okay, just pick one or two. Okay, I have already given you this paper in the WhatsApp. Okay, just pick one or two. This paper is about a review of ICT applications in construction. Okay, this is in 2018. Okay, so 2019. So it shows here, okay, all the okay, ICT applications, okay, uh, and all the related reviews, okay, that relates to ICT in construction. Just pick one or two segment out of this paper that touch your heart very deeply when you read about it, and then you can understand it just in a nick of time. Okay, so just pick one, okay, and do make a slide presentation, okay, in 10 minutes, okay, and then present it to me. Okay, can you do that?
Do you mean right now, Doctor?
Yeah, right now. Okay, this is I need to do this because I've been told that students usually retain the information much more longer if you do some activities, okay, apart from just listening to me. Okay, so this is the activity. Okay, just pick any of the segments, okay, in this paper. Put whatever that you understand from this short and brief session of 10 minutes time that I'm going to give to you, and by 5:35 then we're going to stop, and everyone of you are going to present. Okay, yeah, can you do that, you guys?
Lecturer, I have a meeting.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's not supposed to have a meeting when you have a class. Just do whatever you can, okay, in 10 minutes time. Okay, I'm going to call you one by one after this, okay, by 5:35. All right.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay. Coba apa sayang? The car is there? The car is there?
No.
Go away your sweatshirt. Go away your pants. You take a bath lah. Okay. So once to start, It's okay. It just even have a slide. I'm okay. Wants to start?
I will start with that.
All right. Okay.
Is it clear?
Yep.
I've used BIM-based ICT applications. The introduction is BIM information building is a collaborative process for the planning, design, construction, and management of a building. It's the idea of exchanging data using standards. And ideally, BIM process utilize centralized in the digital 3D model of the building, and it is called as a resource. These are the benefits of BIM. The technology is more popular in construction technology industry. It brings lots of benefits. There are only some of them in this. In terms of quality, the BIM applications have higher quality of performed work, also improvement of environmental safety and health, and also more precise planning. It helps in planning. In terms of time, it reduces delays. It also contributes to the overall project life cycle, and also it has a faster design in terms of getting to in comparison of AutoCAD and other softwares used. In terms of functionality, it has access to all informations, whether it's design related or management related information. And also it has visualization, 3D and 2D visualization in time. It also has better communications, where if there is a team who collaborate in a specific project, can collaborate on time. In terms of saving, it has early collision detection, which can save time and money regarding to construction projects, and also it has efficiency increasing. It also helps in competitiveness, because of if the construction company uses BIM technology, it has opportunity or upper hand in the competitive market in terms of design, dedicating projects on time and effectively. Thank you, Rika.
Okay. Okay. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Very good. Um, I want to make this as your individual assignment. Okay. So can you update this, whatever that you are doing now? Okay, update this with all the things that from your readings. Okay, apart from what I've just given you. Okay, the paper, and will become your individual assignment. Okay, I won't give you marks based on this. Okay, so whatever that Abbas is actually presenting is actually what I'm trying to find. Okay, when I ask the question of okay, explain with examples information and communication technology in the construction industry. So Abbas is telling us about BIM technology. If you can give some examples, okay, apart from just telling all the concepts, it's going to be beneficial for everyone, including you and everyone else. Okay, put it in this form, okay, in these slideshows, okay, whether in PDF or in PowerPoint, okay, and put it in the author, okay.
Sure.
I have already put a question in the individual assignment. Is it? Can you see it? Uh, Individual activities. Okay.
No, doctor, not yet.
Okay. So individual assignment,